Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? Hopefully everyone is excited for a round one matchup between Zoast and FreyasSpirit here in the 2020 Super Metroid multi-category tournament. I'm Maniacal, and I'm joined by TG Derp. Derp, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I am Eastern time, so it is 2:15 at the moment.
It
So
is the young hour of 1:16 in the morning here for me in Central Time. But I am so energized for this race. So the way this matchup happened in round one is we have 60 entrants, and first seed plays 31st seed, and that's what we have here. So Freyas, they honestly should be a higher seed than me, but they've neglected GT Classic. Gets Zoast in round one, who is the current Super Metroid any percent world record holder, having set that record just within the past week or so. And so this is going to be a heck of a matchup.
yeah, I believe for all 6 categories we're doing in the multi-category tournament, Zoast is at least top 3 in all of them. So definitely a good player. You know, a couple people might have heard of him before. So do have high hopes for him in the tournament. I think Freyas will do pretty well for themselves as well, but this is a rough first matchup, as you've kind of touched on.
Yeah, I mean, Zoast, a clear favorite, but Freyas, to their credit, very excited to race Zoast in any percent. Zoast, of course, doing the world record preferred route of PRKD, or Fantoon, Ridley, Kraid, Draygon in that boss order. And Freyas, I think we're going to be seeing doing KPDR. I know they've been grinding recently, just got a 46 recently, and was going for a 45.
Yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they were on a 45 pace run that they lost, I believe, in Turian. So they are definitely capable of it, and so we'll see
absolutely.
how well they can do in this race.
Yeah, and I see Freyas is with us in chat, so I'm sure they'll be sharing commentary throughout, it looks like.
Yep, we are just about to get the race started in SRL, so we'll be moving on shortly.
Yeah, there's that those times when you're gatekeeping the race and forget to unenter. That totally would have been me just about now. So now that I have released them from their waiting queue prison, they'll be off very shortly. But I'm excited about this. Freyas has been grinding really, really hard lately. So has Zoast. Both of them kind of on top of their any percent game. So I'm sure we're gonna see a lot of really good play from both of them.
Yeah, Zoasty very recently participated in a any percent best of 3 race with a real cutie, and I believe the second race he got a mid 41 with a required animal save. So he is definitely on top of his game right now, and we are most likely going to see a real performance from him, which isn't to discount Freyas at all, of course, but Zoasty is, as we've touched on, good.
Good, you would say, yeah. So I'll need to just shout out how good Freyas is for a minute, and just say that a 31 seed, not only a consequence of not updating PBs, but also that they're just overall better at Super Metroid than me, and I'm the 27 seed. So like the fact that they weren't a top 30 seed in this tournament is kind of absurd. But this tournament also has a very, very competitive and high-quality field. I'm really excited to see a lot of the matchups that this tournament is going to bring out.
Yeah, we do have a lot of the top runners in this tournament. You know, behind Zoast, we have a real cutie, Zenny, Sloters, very solid runners that we will be seeing. I believe Cutie's round 1 race has already happened. I'm not sure how it went, but I think Freyas actually did commentary on that, so maybe if they're listening, they can let us know in chat.
And I'm getting the message from Freyas in chat that Cordy won and also did Old Route. And I'm told that it was a beautiful run, which sounds like a very Freyas thing to say. But yeah, both runners have made it through Sirius Station. We aren't going to see divergence early, but we will see strat divergence fairly early on. So there will be a few rooms where the runners, based on sort of which way they're going to be headed, whether up red tower or down red tower, are going to choose to maybe do some slightly different things in terms of just management of health and ammo early on. So we'll see how that shows up.
Yeah, not too much interesting going on early on. Both runners doing the Parlor Moonfall and the Climb Moonfall, as is standard. Zoast doing a slightly faster one, weaving around the platforms, saves a few frames.
Yeah, you save about 10 frames that you don't have to keep walking backwards to clear that first platform. But I couldn't get that one working for myself. I tried it a few times and said, it's above my pay grade.
Yeah, I've done a bit of work with, but I am also not consistent enough to do it in runs. And also, it's really just not worth unless you were Zoasty.
Yeah, Zoast has a lot of really cool frame-saving strats that I don't know if we're going to see him run a lot of them or not. I think we're going to see a lot of them just because they're kind of the default for how he processes the rooms. But I'm curious to see if he chooses to take any extra like race safeties or things on account of it being a tournament match.
So assuming he's doing new route, I would assume he'll pick up the wave missiles. It's something you would normally see him skip in PB runs, but it actually doesn't save a full item fanfare because you kind of have to go out of your way to skip it. So it only saves about 5 or so seconds instead of the full 6.5. So I imagine we'll see Zoast pick that one up just in case Metroid drops aren't kind to him. Beyond that, we may see Ridley tank, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I know some any percent runners who would normally do new route will do the sort of what is it PKRD route as opposed to PRKD, just to get that various suit before lower Norfair to mitigate some damage for something if they need to gravity jump and miss lava spark or something. I don't know if we'll see that from Zoast, but it's something to watch out for.
Yeah, I remember Kip, another top runner in this tournament. He used to do the good old Captain Picard route in races a lot. You also have the added benefit of being able to pick up crate tanks, so you can have a solid 3 tanks for Ridley, just in case you need that extra safety for a race.
Yeah, the cost really is in crate drops in prep for what comes after, and just not necessarily needing the drops at that point in the race. But either way, we'll see if that's the way either of the runs chooses to go. Meanwhile, Zoast already finished with BT, and a good fight. Freyas, a little bit of a hang-up. Didn't see what exactly went poorly, but does get the drops and makes it out cleanly with full health and ammo.
Yeah, they said in chat that apparently they got a little bit hung up at climb, and also they picked up all of the missile drops from BT, so they had to do a few P shots more than they would normally have to, but they are still on a pretty nice pace heading into Terminator.
Freyas climb was going very, very good, and then there was that little hang up with that pirate at the top, but not a bad run by any stretch of the imagination. Going to be seeing good elevator time from both runners. Here's Zoast coming in with a 6:05, which is just plain good. And Freyas not far behind, also going to be besting my elevator gold.
Obviously, I'm speaking from personal experience here, but anything below about 620 is a really good elevator time. And you saw Freyas going down the elevator at about 617, so it is still a very nice pace for them.
Yeah, what I really want to see is just both of the runners to just completely ball out and have no trouble, not get screwed by RNG, and just have a really good run for both runners. I think that would be an awesome showcase right now. So that's what I'm rooting for.
Yep. Let's hope for the double fast fan tunes and plentiful super drops from all the bugs in Zebus. You say Zebus or Zebus or whatever else? There's a lot of different ways people say the planet's name.
I think I'll accept Zebes or Zebus, but Zebes, no Zebes, not doing that one.
Yeah, as a child, I was definitely in the Zebes camp, but I have since reformed to Zebus. It is the only way.
Clearly, I've hurt some feelings in chat, but I'll live with myself. I'm gonna sleep just fine tonight.
I'll sleep extra fine, considering I'll be done with this by about 3 a.m. You know how it is.
Absolutely. I'm probably not getting to sleep until another hour or so after this. Just because I'm probably going to be my typical insomniac self. But Zoast coming up on Red Tower, getting the hero shot, and making it up. That is a lot trickier than it looks. As most things in this game at that level are. But he is moving.
Yeah, for that trick, you need to move with the shot as it is just off screen so that it can go high enough to hit the block. So you need to do your wall jumps very quickly, which Zoast is of course able to do. He is making a pretty good pace. I'm not sure how this compares to his normal pace, but about an 8:30 powerbomb time is very good.
Yeah, I don't have too many checks in terms of his pace in my head. I know we'll see sort of what the Fantoon kill time looks like, and that usually is kind of the thing that'll determine how good the run is looking. But
I know
we did see
I know a
Freyas
couple
go.
spots. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Derp.
Oh, I was gonna say I know a couple spots where old route and new route about sync up in terms of time, so I'll try to point those out as we get to them.
CWJ chance right here on Zo's screen. We'll see if he gets it. Nice.
Very well done. That is I believe a frame perfect jump into a 2-frame perfect, or is it the other way around? I always forget.
It is frame perfect into 2-frame window the way that he set it up with a through door setup. If he uses the indoor, it's a 1-frame, but apparently the indoor also there's a pixel where it's a 1-frame, 2-frame out of the 2 pixels you can do. I don't actually know all of it as well as I should. Meanwhile, Freyas doing a nice crate quick kill, getting various suit. Yeah, both runners.
Varia is very good for an old route run. So Freyas, like we said, is still making a very good pace right now.
Yeah, I see chat just saying cruising, and I'll agree, Toasty Muffins. Freyas is absolutely cruising. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Let's bless RNG for Zoast. Exclamation point, guess, fast mid, already wrong, but that's okay.
So I do wonder if we'll see Freyas pick up the Kraid tank. That is basically the safety tank for old route. Looks like they are going to skip it. Makes sense considering the caliber of runner they're against. So they are most likely going to be skipping most safeties since they will need all the time they can get.
Yeah, Zoast, meanwhile, went for a really tough Doppler strat in round 2 off of a slow fast, and unfortunately messed it up a little bit, got a 3rd round slow then to punish him, but still a very clean kill, and it was cool to see him go for such an ambitious strat.
No world records today, but still a solid fight. He won't be too upset about that, I imagine.
And Freyas getting high jump boots. So that's going to be one of those movement items that's going to basically simplify everything and help undo some of the route inefficiency time. So Freyas is going to be first to not just high jump boots, but also to speed booster, and those movement items really, put in a lot of work. So we'll see if Freyas is able to leverage them effectively.
We see Zoast coming up to a fairly difficult part of this early wreck ship, the attic. We'll see how he can execute this.
We'll see if he gets this last double shot. If his pace through the room is good, he should double hit the atomic and the key hunter with that super, and he does. So he's able to save a little bit of ammo and have a very nice attic.
Meanwhile, Freyas coming up to Bubble Mountain. There's a lot of different strats people use to climb Bubble Mountain. I believe we'll see Zoast use an ice beam shot, since he is doing new route, in order to get up Bubble Mountain slightly faster, but a lot of people have a lot of different strats that don't lose or gain too much time over each other.
Yeah, so Zoast's most recent strat he's been running, and I'm a huge fan of it for Bubble Mountain, is a right side Bubble Mountain with an ice shot backup that differs from the left side Bubble Mountain that Freyas was running. It's a beautiful, beautiful strat if he pulls it off, so watch when Zoast gets to Bubble Mountain to see if he nails this strat. It's super, super cool. It uses a delayed wall jump off of one of the ledges on the bottom right side to climb the right side, and I think it saves like half a second or something if you get it clean. It's a pretty non-negligible savings, and he has a really sweet backup to make it safe.
One small thing I do want to point out on Freyas' side, you saw them farm the bugs before Speed Booster once before going to Speed Booster and once after. That actually does save a few frames since you don't need to wait for the bugs to spawn again. I believe they're called Zebos. I don't actually remember what all the bugs are called.
So those ones are gamuts, because they're in Norfair. The red bugs in Brinstar are Zebs, and the green bugs in Lower Norfair are Zebos, is kind of the most of them. Zebos are the ones that are pre-Ridley.
Okay, but by doing the farm in that order, you do save a few frames. And we did see them get pretty lucky with that second farm, getting 4 super drops, so they got their full super refill.
And Armath with the deep Zebus lore in chat, letting us know that Zoas are the names of the Blue Meridia ones.
I agree with Freyas. They're all bugs. Just farm the bugs.
All is frog, apparently. Fire Gamer, Sova, whatever.
We see Zoast coming in to the Spazer Beam. I know there's some people that have some strong opinions about this.
Yeah, this is one of the hallmarks of new route versus old route. Of course, new route going to Meridia so late, as Draygon is the last boss, isn't able to leverage the time it takes to go get Plasma Beam to make it effective, so the damage output from Spazer ends up being what you rely on. Whereas we will see Freyas get that full Plasma Beam.
And since Freyas is going to be getting Plasma Beam, they will not be picking up Spazer, since it would just get replaced and is therefore just slower and not worth their time. Does Freyas go for the hero shot up at tower? Looks like they're going for the down grab.
Even better. Yeah, they do the down grab there, which is just super sweet. I've talked to Freyas as recently as a few days ago, and just said that like that strat horrifies me and is so far above my pay grade, and I couldn't believe that they were going for it with a 47 at the time. Because like I can't even imagine going for that. And I mean, I'm running a 49, which is a bad time, but like it feels like that strat is just ages ahead of me. So very nice red tower.
So we talked about this a little bit earlier, as what route Zoasty would be doing. It looks like he actually is going to be fighting Kraid early and doing the PKRD route. I assume that means he will also be picking up the Kraid E-Tank, since I feel like doing Kraid first isn't really worth otherwise. But that will give him a bit of extra energy for Ridley just in case.
Yeah, this, I mean, definitely a race safety. A call from Zoast that I do really like. I think it costs something on the order of 10 seconds, I've been told, without any reference for myself to corroborate that, but it seems reasonable. And then the E-Tank costs another 15 between door transitions and fanfare. But as, you know, looking at the gap and runner PBs, it's a time that Zoast can very reasonably give up for safety.
We do also see Freyas picking up the moat missiles as they spark across the ocean. Not totally sure if it was intentional or not, but I believe that puts their missile total to 25, so they have even more extra ammo in case things go wrong. So not a bad safety. We'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting as this multi-category tournament goes on to see sort of how many safeties runners choose to take beyond what they would normally do in runs as a function of who their opponent is. Similarly, we just saw Freyas also have a nice speedball entry to Fantoon. It's another fairly tight trick.
Oh, I'm being told they skipped the high jump missile, which that does save a little bit of time not going for the high jump missile. It is a bit tricky though. Freyas missed one X Factor particle. That's gonna be rough. We'll see how they can if they can get it back up fight here. Looks like they're just gonna take a third round on Fantoon. Not too bad, I would say.
Yeah, and right mid's always a nice consolation prize. Right mid is objectively the best pattern.
Right mid is definitely a fairly free pattern to execute it's probably the easiest once you start learning Fantoon patterns, because you have time to prepare for it and it isn't as slow, so you can usually not need to deal with random flames spawning in your way.
And Zoast with a very nice ice escape. And Freyas with a good Fantoon exit. I don't know what that room is called. It's like, I guess, lower main wreck ship shaft.
I believe it's called the basement.
The basement? Okay.
It's definitely not as commonly used as attic, but it makes sense, you know? If you have an attic, you also have a basement, right? Usually. My house actually doesn't have a basement, so maybe I shouldn't be saying anything. So I mentioned earlier that there's some spots where old route and new route about sync up in terms of time. One of those is old route gets gravity suit about the same time that new route goes down lower Norfair, and Freyas is about to get gravity, and Zoasty isn't actually far off from going down to lower Norfair despite doing Kraid early, so you can see Zoasty just being a little bit ahead. Freyas clips through the bowling statue. That was pretty funny. not sure if Maniacal's here. Did he die? Is it just me again? Yeah, that's just me for a bit. Alright, so Freyas having a really good run so far. 21:38 gravity, I believe that was, which is a very solid time for old route. Meanwhile, Zoasty gonna be about a minute-ish behind, going down to lower Norfair elevator. Maybe a little bit more than that. Gonna be like a 23-ish flat. So an expected minute and a half difference in where the times would normally sync up, which is expected since Zoasty did do Kraid first and picked up the Kraid E-Tank. So that is where that comes from. There's a second place where old route and new route about sync up. I don't remember exactly where it is. It's like old route going down to LN elevator when something happens for new route. I think it's like Draygon dying or something like that. I don't remember though. Maybe somebody in chat can help me. Being told that Zoasty has 25 missiles. Not sure where he has all of those. Not sure where he got the 5th one from, if that's true. Oh, high jump missiles, that makes sense. As Zoast comes up to the worst room in the game and gets through it very nicely. This is a very difficult part of new route. Going through lower Norfair without having the full beam combo that you would normally have in old route is very dangerous, but Zoasty has been running new route for many years by now. Is going to be fairly comfortable. Meanwhile, you saw Freyas actually do a backup strat in Mount Everest. They did not have enough health to comfortably do the spark that you would normally see, so they did a jump using a pseudo screw to get rid of the, I don't know what that enemy is called, the mini Fantoon, in order to get up Mount Everest. So very well done. It is a bit tricky, I would say, but Freyas not having any trouble with it. Also having a nice 1-round bot wound kill, so everything going swimmingly there. Get it, because they're underwater. I'm funny. Please laugh. I wonder how many power bombs Zoasty's gonna enter Ridley with. Looks like it's going to be 4. So we're going to be seeing synced boss kills here. Zoasty on his 3rd boss, which is Ridley, while Freyas on their 3rd boss, which is Draygon. We'll see how many X Factors Zoasty can get. Looks like it's only going to be, I guess you can call it 1.5, since half the particles didn't miss. Looks like Ridley didn't appear at the spot where Zoasty was attempting to manipulate him into, so the X Factor did not connect. Gonna be just using charge shots from here. Meanwhile, Freyas going for an X Factor spark on Draygon. That looked really good. And unfortunately sparks upwards on their 2nd spark, so gonna have to have a bit of a backup fight here. Oh no. Oh no. That is the thing about Draygon. Because you are using sparks in order to damage her, when it starts going wrong, it starts going very wrong. And meanwhile, Zoasty having a really nice Ridley kill, despite the maybe not perfect X Factor opening. Freyas, please be okay. Alright, they're in health bomb range, so I thought they were about to just walk into Draygon's tail there. But they should be okay from here, but it is going to be very slow. And Draygon is down. It wasn't a clean fight, but Freyas is probably happy that they're alive at this point. Zoasty, meanwhile, having a really nice wasteland escape, getting the clip through the partially destroyed powerbomb blocks and the short charge in order to get through the bomb blocks and get out of the room. Now, with the Kraid E-Tank, they have 3 tanks, so they aren't in too much danger, but all of the enemies here will do 50 damage, so they can't take too many hits. I believe Draygon's belly turns fully red at about half HP, so it's a bit deceptive. You may think you have Draygon very low, but she actually has plenty of health left, which is pretty tough to deal with if you end up in the situation that Freyas did, where you don't have enough health to comfortably spark. They're gonna be okay, though. Just an update. I should have probably said this earlier, but Maniacal's internet did drop, so he is working on getting that back. Until then, you are stuck with yours truly. Oh, speak of the devil. Welcome back, Maniacal. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Derp. Can you hear me?
I can.
My great apologies as my illustrious internet decided to just die on me. So thank you for holding it down, dude. And my apologies.
It's alright. Everything's going well. I don't know how much of the restream you've caught, but Freyas had a bit of trouble with Draygon, ended up missing a couple sparks, and had to finish off the fight with ammo. Meanwhile, Zoast is having a really solid run for himself. Freyas is too, of course, but that big slowdown is definitely not ideal.
Yeah, and when those things happen, they can always be a little flustering, and so it can be tough to get yourself kind of back in gear, but you know, both these players are very experienced, and I'm sure we'll see good play down the stretch from Freyas.
Looks like they didn't let go of shot there, so had to do a bit of a slow Ever room. Not sure what that room exactly is called, but it's got Evers in it, so it's Ever room now.
It's like Sand Falls left or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good room names, but some are less good.
Yeah, I always am generally happy about the Super Metroid community and the fact that we have room names that don't suck, but there are some rooms that suck quite a bit. But
that's why we need to make the names right now.
Yeah. Oh man, that's too much pressure. That is way too much.
I mean, I said it, but I don't actually have any ideas either, so I guess it will not happen.
The one Zoast was just in, maybe we could call it Coliseum because it's got sand.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm just trying to come up with something, man. It doesn't make any sense to me either, but it was close.
Anyways,
I by the way, nice space jump ice exit there from Freyas, taking lower route. Not ice escape, but very smooth. But yeah, I lost you around the time when Freyas was about to get gravity and Zoast was about to enter lower Norfair. So unfortunately, I missed quite a bit. But nice Drake kill there from Zoast.
Yep, we even see Zoasty skipping the drops, just gonna keep this blue suit and make it up to the top of the room.
And Freyas going for a nice multi-room strat here for sort of space jumping the entry here to lower Norfair and choosing to take the health refill. Down an E-tank, nice safety. Loses a few seconds, but could be critical.
Good old Nutella refill there.
That is
sure why it's called that.
It's because Nutella forever, but I'm not sure why it's attributed to him. Nice chronic boost there from Freyas as well.
I assume he used it a lot, but who knows?
Yeah, that's one I don't know the history of for sure.
I mean, I don't know a lot of the things that are named after runners, why they are. Like Sloter's refill it's a refill that was used back in the day in any percent. Instead of picking up the Batoon tank, you would pick up Kraid tank and then take the refill on your way to Meridia. That hasn't been used that hasn't been used in world record runs for a long time now.
Yeah, so community staple here, Antinomy, is letting us know that Nutella just kind of felt like naming it after himself, and I believe Sephi.
That sounds accurate to both Nutella and why that is named Nutella.
Yeah, it's very, very believable. So I see no reason to think it's not a credible claim.
So Zoasty, as someone in chat mentioned, is making a pretty comfortable 42 pace run for themselves.
Which is insane.
Yes, very good for a race. Very good in general for 99% of everyone.
Yeah, that's a sick pace for anybody with all the safeties he's taken. I mean, 4 tanks, extra missiles, Kraid before lower Norfair, and still just rocking out with the killer pace. And I see Zoast is in chat saying his early game was sweet, which it definitely was, and then that the Ridley pattern was Dan's game, which I did not see. So was it a Dan's game Ridley, Derp?
He didn't get the manipulation correct for the X Factors and ended up missing pretty much all of the second X Factor, which was a bit rough. But after that, the fight was fairly clean, I would say. I was kind of distracted by Freyas having some Draygon issues, but
that's fair.
It seems good.
I see D-Web pointing out in chat some nice metal pirates there from Freyas, and I will absolutely concur. And also nice sort of early plasma shot on Ridley, just little time saves. But that double hit off the plasma shot for the metal pirates is another one of those strats that I am always very impressed by.
Looks like Zoasty, not sure if he was trying for it, but there is a way to group the Metroids there without them latching onto you, which he didn't quite do. Still having really nice Metroid rooms. These are very mechanically intensive rooms. You have to have high APM in order to do them optimally, which Zoasty, a StarCraft player through and through, is maybe accustomed to more than the rest of us.
Yeah, my APM is pretty bad, so my Torian is especially bad, and Zoast Torian is always very impressive to me. I think he was going for the don't cling on you grouping strat in room 1, but just got grabbed by that second Metroid that's really, really tight, and ended up backing it up with a bomb strat, which isn't that much slower, really. Just a little less safe because you do lose health.
They also didn't get perfect super drops, only 9 super missiles, which isn't a problem since they have extra missiles, but if they didn't, they would be in a dubious situation, if you will.
Yeah. 15-9 is a lot less good than 25-9. But, that's why you get those extra missiles for race safety, so that even if the Metroids decide to be scummy, you get to finish your game.
Yep, so for Mother Brain 1, he will need 18 missiles and 6 super missiles, so he has plenty of leeway in case the turrets decide to troll him a bit. We'll see if that happens, though.
The turrets have been out for blood today, so I've been seeing them be real jerks, but they were at least civil to Zoast there.
They were watching him, but they did let him pass in the end. They let the run be a run.
Yeah, so just 60 shots here, although he does have an extra super he could use. And he'll be through Mother Brain 2. And then Mother Brain 3 is basically a plot boss, so requires execution, but very little risk of actually dying.
Especially with 4 E-tanks, even if he gets hit by a few attacks or a rainbow beam, he will have enough health to make it through Mother Brain 2. The only time Mother Brain is super difficult, though, is in low percent categories where you have to do multiple hundreds of shots. In this case, Zoasty only needs 60, which is not too bad. Could even use the super missile if he wanted to save the third of a second. Looks like he's gonna hold on to it, though, just for good luck.
I mean, I always get nervous when I run out of super missiles, so I could understand wanting to keep one on hand.
I guess. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, there he uses it.
I don't think it actually saved any time because of Mother Brain's pattern, but, you know. Meanwhile, Freyas making their way up to Turian.
Yeah, also
like
on a very good run.
Yeah, definitely sub 50, which, considering the Draygon shenanigans, is a pretty solid pace. Gonna be about I would say about a low 38, if I'm seeing it right.
48?
Maybe a high 37? 48, yeah, not 38.
Yeah. We're not looking at GT Classic times here.
Yeah, I have been running
Although we could be.
many GT Classic runs recently.
I've been destroying many GT Classic runs lately with Lava Dive, but that's okay. I love GT Classic. I'm so excited to see more GT Classic runs in this multi-cat tourney.
Freya saying that if they can tie their gold split in Turian, they will be on a 47.52 pace. So realistically, since it is a race and you can't expect to match your gold, about a low 48 most likely. But we'll see. Not to discount the runners, of course. They are definitely capable of very good runs.
Oh, absolutely. I'm seeing votes of confidence in chat. Like, Freyas is going to beat their gold right here, and damn it, I'd love to see it. So let's see that. Let's see that new Torian gold from Freyas. You can always play for the next split, right?
Of course. No split's perfect. So going back to the GT Classic point, I believe we are going to be seeing GT Classic as one of the categories in week 2. So any fans of that category should be on the lookout there.
Yeah, we've got GT Classic, any percent all bosses, and 100% next week. I just looked earlier, and I am stoked.
Yep, 2 good categories and 100%. So we can look forward to that.
I feel like 100% is just a double good category because it's so long, and I'm okay with that.
Well, to each their own, I suppose. So Steve finishing up the game. We'll see if they do any fun stuff at the end. Doesn't look like it. Gotta get those Hall of Fame times for the tournament, and they are going to done with an official SRL time of 42 minutes and 22 seconds. GG to Zoasted.
Yeah, that is a sweet time. GG to Zoast. Beautiful run. Even if Ridley was scummy while I wasn't watching.
Meanwhile, Freya setting up for the baby skip. Let's see if they can get this.
Oh, right in time for the grab. With
it. I'll take credit for that. I'll take the blame for that one.
Zoe says Ridley gave the immediate, like the rare immediate left wall pogo to miss the second X. That is just bad RNG, but you know, I would much rather see that happen in a race than on a good pace PB attempt. So I'll just say that's one less left in the Ridley's on Zoast's cart, because that's clearly how it works.
Yeah, if you get all your bad runs when it doesn't matter, then when it does, you can get a good run. That's how it works, for sure. That's not gambler's fallacy, right?
100%. Each cartridge only has so many good runs in it. Good patterns and whatnot. Just don't want to use them at the wrong times. Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, some of those patterns that you just seldom see in runs, but they just show up for races. And Freyas has beaten the turret boss onto Mother Brain 2. Looking at, like you said, a 47-48 pace. This is still going to be a really nice run from Freyas.
With the missed baby skip, it's going to be about a low to mid 48, I would imagine. It loses about, I would say, they missed it early, so about 20-ish seconds. So
sounds right.
At best, a 48 1x. Oh no.
Oh well, or that, or the fast catch up. And I am pretty confident that Freyas, ever the competitor, knowing they were up against Zoast, did not elect to take a save at any point. So
they have officially forfeit from the race. So very unfortunate way to end it off. Shout out to Zeb for following though.
Yeah, Zeb, also a good Super Metroid runner. Does a lot of randos. But yeah, that Freyas in chat saying that was a bad pattern, and indeed it was. It was a fast catch up off of a pretty rough pattern into that. Not something you see every day, and sometimes those things will happen. So GG's to both Zoast and Freyas. Really fun run.
Yeah, despite the death, Freyas definitely put on a very solid show, having a really good early time. Sub 10 Varia is not easy in old round, and they did good. Nothing to be ashamed of, especially against Zoasty.
Yeah, I have been enjoying both Zoast and Freyas streams, each independently in the past couple weeks. Both of them have been putting together a great grind. So if you haven't been following either of them, A, what have you been doing? B, go give them a follow, show them some love. They're both great Super Metroid streamers and deserve your support. And I'm excited to see them both continuing to play in the multi-category tournament.
Yep, but I believe that's going to do it for us, unless the runners want to join for an interview.
Yeah,
looks like Zoasty will not. They're feeling a bit under the weather. We'll see if. Looks like Freyas is, though.
Yeah, so feel better, Zoast. GG, dude. And maybe next time. And welcome to FreyasSpirit. How are y'all doing?
We're doing. That was a really, really good run up until other than messing up the high jump E-Tank room, we had a really good run up until Fantoon.
Yeah, you were playing excellently, and I mean, even post Fantoon room to room, it was a really sweet run to watch.
And we keep getting paces like that, which means that the 45 is in reach. Last night we golded 5 out of 11 splits.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
I was absolutely lurking and/or trying to fall asleep, and enjoyed seeing all of those gold splits come up. It was a heck of a stream. You've been playing really great, Freyas. The 45, like you said, is around the corner.
Yep, our sum of best is if we can improve our sum of best for 14 seconds, then we will be a minute out of our old route gold, which means that the God run can get our time of 45:27.
Okay. Yeah, that would be sweet. So what old route time do you have then?
We have a 46:30 with about 10 to 15 seconds lost in climb escape.
Oh, yes, I remember. I vaguely remember that. So
and that was
definitely
a couple of runs after lost 45, which felt amazing.
Yeah, it's always good to bounce back from those things, and I guess kind of like this one, I fully expect to see you bounce back in subsequent rounds. We got a 6-round or 6-week Swiss. Do you have any inclination about what category you might be biased toward for next week?
Oh, we've decided that we're not gonna learn hundo, item, or triple bingo, so we're just gonna be vetoing those. And we've never gotten low ice past Ridley, so if that comes up, we're just gonna do it blind.
So I'll say next week, hundo is on the menu, but the other 2 categories are GT Classic and any % all bosses.
Yep, GT Classic should be interesting. We're mostly afraid of the green gate glitch there. And to Oster, yes, we are trying to bot fee. We want to make ourselves the clear best woman at the best time for an old route of any woman in Super Metroid, and then we'll switch to new round.
Which is a very achievable and noble goal. It'll be fun to watch you continue to grind, and I'm sure you will achieve that.
Yeah, we want to get 14 seconds off of our sum of best, and then we figure that when our sum of best is within a minute of our goal, we can get it with a good run.
Yeah, I'm learning all sorts of things from chat right now.
We are super, super, super excited for the rest of this tournament, and getting Zoast in round 1 was actually a good thing, because this is the only week that triple bingo and hundo items show up together, which means that getting Zoast was nice, because we agreed to any % ahead of time, which means that we didn't have to learn either of the other 2.
Okay, yeah, I was kind of hoping to see some hundo or some triple bingo out of this. I thought you might want to dodge any %, just because of, Zoast being so practiced at it. Thought you might want to roll the dice and see if you could spike one in one of the other categories. But I also totally get just the opportunity to put down an any % race against someone who has as much experience and is well versed in the category as Zoast.
It's a combination of a couple things. We just don't want to be distracted from the any % grind, and got that luckily this week. And the other thing is that we think at any % is a race category where we have the most chance of beating Zoast. the last time that we raced Zoast in any percent in a tournament, Zoast was a few pixels away from dying to a key hunter.
Yeah, I saw you say that in chat. I guess, was it lower Norfair escape, like red key hunter shaft or something?
I think it was on the way down.
Oh,
Shaft
interesting.
on the way down. Zoast was less than 50 HP after the spark, and didn't get enough health drops, and almost did the run too slow and got pooped by the key hunter. By the third key hunter.
Yeah, that is crazy. New route is just intimidating to me still. I enjoy watching it, but definitely it's a little beyond me to run it.
Wow, Oster saying that B was the one who cracked the redesigned level data pointer encryption. We didn't know that Drew did that, but that's amazing that Fee cracked that. Fee is just amazing at Super Metroid, amazing at Tetris, amazing technically, and just, yeah. Someone who's way better than us at both of our serious speed games.
Didn't know Fee did Tetris as well. I know you said you recently got a PB in Tetris, right? In TGM?
Yeah, last night we got a 14-second PB, which was amazing.
That's awesome. Congratulations on that as
almost
well.
PB off stream, and then we wanted to and we decided to just grind for that, and we were expecting to spend the whole stream doing that. Instead, we got that PB in half an hour by the half-hour mark, and then got 5 golds in Super Metroid.
Yeah, that is, I guess, the sort of content that y'all get to watch if you tune into FreyasSpirit's stream, which is honestly always fun. Do you have any plans to do other Tetris games, or is it just going to be TGM, maybe TGM 2 or 3? I was wondering.
So we do some death mode TGM too. We don't think that master mode is really good to do on keyboard, so we're not going to do that unless we get a stick, because the up-down motion just is really, really hard on your wrist.
Makes sense.
TGM 3 is something that you don't do until way, way, way later. Fee is just an absolute Tetris goddess, so...
Fair enough.
We'd love to get better at Tetris, but Tetris has been the biggest obstacle to us getting our 45 in Super Metroid. We spent a lot of time grinding out Tetris last year instead of Super Metroid, and we think our Super Metroid time would be way better if we didn't have that distraction.
So is it all any percent or until the 45 now?
We don't know. It's gonna be whatever we feel like playing. And there's no point in grinding any percent unless we're feeling it. Because if we aren't feeling it, then we're just going to play badly, and we're going to be disappointed, and we're not going to be getting good times. So we really have to just pay attention to our emotions and how we're feeling. We have to have a good day. Because if we're not having a good day, then we're not going to have a good time.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I've definitely played games, Super Metroid included, where some days it's just the mental blocks just aren't going to let you perform where you want to.
And in those days, we can just chill with other games instead.
But yeah, so I don't think... Sorry, go ahead, Fred.
This was an absolutely amazing race. Going up against Zoast is like going up against Flash or Bisou, so you just do your best and hope, and your best chances if Zoast really messes up, so... We played a solid run, and Zoast is just way, way, way better than us, so expected result.
I think that sums it up nicely. Anything else you wanted to share about the run?
No, we're just super happy with how much of it went well.
Yeah, it was absolutely a joy to watch, and thank you for coming in and chatting in post-race, Freyas. And sorry that Mother Brain was scummy, but, you know, those things happen.
It happened. Honestly, as the onion rings were coming out, we knew that we had to jump and weren't entirely sure what the timing was there. So as soon as we shot the 16 shot and Mother Brain was shooting onion rings, we knew that we were probably dead. And if anybody knows how to deal with that sort of thing and can teach us, that would be amazing. And yeah, thank you everybody for watching. And thank you Maniacal and Dirt for commentating.
Absolutely. And GG, Freyas.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, I think that just about does it for us. Derp, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
No, not really. I think we've got it all covered, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look to see what we have coming up on the upcoming races here. Looks like the next thing on the calendar is 3 p.m. Eastern today. We have Diddy versus Ajder, another great matchup. And looks like Tracy is going to be on commentary. So let's see, do we have a channel for that just yet? Looks like it's going to be on SpeedGaming. So right here, if you just keep parked right on this channel for the next 12 hours, you're going to get some Diddy versus Ajder. And then later, looks like we have Enmit versus Beef Robber, Crocomeyer versus White Mage Becky at 5 Eastern. 8 Eastern, we have Hero 82 versus Cross Product. 9 p.m., Nintoaster versus P-Toil. 10 p.m., Papa Schmo versus Toasty. So tomorrow we have a stacked set of races. That is going to be a blast to watch. But yeah, I think that'll do it for us for tonight. Go rest up, everyone, and get ready for another day of Super Metroid multi-category action tomorrow. There's a lot of good ones, and so hopefully enjoy those too. Have a great night.